This video, for some reason, was so difficult to make. It was like over 3 days long. It is not supposed to take 3 days, however. You can do this in a day. I mean, it's gonna take a bit. You might wanna start in the morning and then end in the evening. But I wanted to get good video of me jarring everything up and canning it up. And that was so late in the evening. And we also had so many things come up where we kept having to turn it off and keep it on the stove. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this somewhat scattered and me in like 3 different outfits video of me making bear tallow. Hope you enjoy. We're going to make bear tallow today. We're gonna render the fat down, strain it, and have the best cooking oil. Not oil, but you know, fat. I feel like this is actually gonna be quite a bit.
Yeah, it might be.
No.
You dropped some.
Yes. Oh, you know, it's on the ground. I put it in the pot. I was like, it's legitimately going to be so hot.
Why, what does that mean?
If it dropped on the, who cares if it dropped on the
Oh,
ground?
you gotta make sure there's no crap in it, like this is.
Yeah, there wasn't any. There was pretty lotion on my hands. And also, because we have a bunch of bear we're processing right now, my son got a bear, I'm gonna put this bear shank in the pressure cooker and cook that up. I actually need to take the squirrel that we have in the pressure cooker out though. We do not eat ground squirrels, we eat tree squirrels. If you get enough of them, it actually tastes really good. Pressure cooker is what I advise for squirrel because otherwise it's pretty tough unless you slow cooked it for a really long time. But I'm gonna take that out and then I'm going to put the bear shank in. You also want to make sure you use a heavy bottomed pan and cook it on low. It has been a couple hours. It's starting to melt. I've actually been stirring it every 15 minutes. Okay, I just got ready. I haven't brushed my clothes out yet, but getting ready to go in just a little bit. However, I wanted to say that I suggest when you first start stirring every 15 minutes. Now I could do every 30. Now that it's much more melty. A lot of the fat is sitting in fat, so it's not sticking as much. In the beginning, it was kind of sticking a little bit on the bottom. So I even stirred it a little bit more often than every 15 minutes. So that's something I would suggest. Okay, it's next day. I actually didn't have time. Oh, here's Snickers. We didn't have time to jar this stuff up last night. We only jarred a few, so it's better light today, and we are going to do that right now after it finishes melting. We actually had to turn the stove off last night because it wasn't done yet, since you have to do it so low that it doesn't burn. And yeah. Come here, Rex. Come here. Oh, hi, Serge. My puppies. Okay, all right, let's melt some fat. I mean, it still could even cook down more, which will probably let it, but
It's going to.
your bowl needs to be warm or hot. I just ran mine under water. If you pour hot oil in a glass object that is not warm, it will crack. And that would be a very messy bummer of a disaster. So this is nice and warm. Now we're going to filter it. You can get a fancy filter. You can use coffee filters. You can use a paper towel. We just had this. It's actually, I think, like a nut milk bag. And so I'm putting it in here. This thing is resting inside the bowl. And then I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm actually going to do it twice. right, these are the ones that we did the first night. And then these are the ones that we did again. They're literally still not even solidified. And then this is from this batch, like going even more. So it's gotten darker, but it will actually still dry fairly clear. So these ones were darker and they're getting clearer. It's still gonna taste great. It'll still be great bare fat. These ones will be like the purest because we did it right away and it was just off the top. Basically all of the oil scooped out that I could, but now I'm going to can or put these in the jars, and then I'm actually going to press the rest of the oil out of those because they're crunchy, but there's still some oil in them. So that one might be a little bit darker, but I'll just save that. And yeah, make sure this is warm before you pour oil in it. Filter in again. I am going to wipe off the rim too. Need something, Cruz? What? Look at my shirt. Okay, hold on. Little rag with vinegar. I wipe off the rim to make sure there's no oil. And then I will just put this lid on, finger tight. Put it over. And it's going to seal because it is so hot, which I'm gonna grab this, it is very hot. It will seal on its own. If it does not, for some reason, you can water bath can it. Okay, I poured them in here and I'm just letting them drain. Okay, and this is why it is important to wipe, because that one got oily and it will not seal if there is oil on the rim. All right, we got 14 jars of bare fat. This is what it looks like. This is from our last bear, but it dries like white. Some of ours have been a tiny bit more, like this jar will be a little bit darker than this, but it pretty much gets this light and it's super impressive. This is our current one we're using that we keep by the stove. We have 2 jars left. We actually did this for a friend. This was their bear fat and they told us if we did it, we could keep some. And since the bear that we just got had like no fat, because it's still so hot here and it hasn't been storing enough fat for the winter, we didn't get any fat on it. So they somehow got a bear that had tons of fat and they let us render it so we could keep some and then give them some. So super happy about it. We're still going to try and get at least one more bear this season, but we're going to try and get it when it's a little bit cooler so that we can store even more fat, because this is our favorite form of cooking, is with tallow. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Have a very blessed day. Happy hunting season.